So it's been quite the news-worthy day, if you will, here, not just statewide in California, as far as people like me living here are concerned, but also nationwide. So let's talk about the nationwide one, for example, right now. Kind of started off there. Because one of the big questions a lot of people have is, what is the status, the current status of the third stimulus check, which is around the amount of $1,400 or $1,400, to make it simpler, in layman terms. No offense. Well, basically, the status is like this. The status was like this. Basically, Ron Johnson, a senator Republican, a Republican senator, I should say, out of Wisconsin, yesterday made Senate clerks read all 628 pages of Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill. You heard me right. Ron Johnson, a Republican senator out of Wisconsin, forced, this is according to one of the news sites, forced or demanded that the Senate clerks read all 628 pages of the $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill. Why? Because there were certain things in there, apparently, that he, other Republicans, some Democrats, and other political party members were not fond of. So by basically having people, by having the Senate clerks read off, basically, all 628 pages, it allowed all political parties to kind of hear exactly what was included in this relief package, so that they could either vote for it to go through as part of it, they could vote to kind of alter it, if you will, kind of tweak some things, as well as also vote for what they didn't want to be added at all, like basically excluded from the package. One of the things that did get excluded from the whole proposal, as a matter of fact, was the $15 minimum wage increase, if you will. So that was pretty much, not going to happen, and I think a lot of people knew that. However, again, like I said, they basically wanted to hear what was, a part of this relief bill, so that they could start voting and debating on what to keep, what to kind of amend, kind of alternate, kind of, change a bit, tweak a bit, as well as also debate on what to remove. In other words, like I said, debate and vote on what to keep, debate and vote on what to tweak, and debate and vote on what to remove. And this reading basically took about nearly 11 hours. They were 16 minutes away from 11 hours for this reading of 628 pages of the $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill. But finally, when it was all said and done, and thus, of course, it did lead into the voting and debating among Republicans and Democrats and other political parties, debating between the Senate Democrats and moderate Democrats, what have you. Finally, at the end of today, they did come up with a compromise. That compromise was to extend the additional $300 unemployment payment to September 6th of this year, as well as keep the $1,400 stimulus check payment for Americans. Now, speaking of that, the one thing about this stimulus that they did, I think, agree upon is it's kind of similar to the last one. Similar. That is basically if you make under $75,000, individually, or if you make under $160,000 as a couple, you will get it. If you make any more than that, you'll get a slight altercation. Like, in other words, it won't be the $1,400, but you'll get something. But if you make way above that, like more than, like, let's say, $100,000, dollars yearly or annually, if you make way above that, you won't get nothing. Like, you just make like slightly more than, like 75,000 a year or yearly, individually, or slightly more of 160,000 as a couple, you'll still get something. It'll just be slightly smaller. But if you make way more than that, like you make equal to what is being sent out to Americans, or basically equal to the equivalent of it, you won't get nothing. So that's basically what. So that's basically the part of the compromise that was made, that these will get sent out, but only to those that, like myself, and I'm sure many others out there, kind of fit the bill of, oh yeah, you're going to need one to get through the rest of this spring and into the summer and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. At least that's from what I'm understanding. And I think that's a great, and honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I think it's a great move. Honestly, why give extra money to those that pretty much, even in these pandemic times, are living in a life of luxury? Why do that? It doesn't make sense. The people that need the help the most are people like myself, people like my nephew in Carmichael, people like my niece in Modesto, who fit that billing. They need that money more so than those that make basically up to the equivalent of what's being sent out. So I like the idea. The only question now is how much longer will it take? Because it's supposed to go back onto the House and Senate floor starting, I guess, tomorrow and into next week. And pretty much a lot of the news sites that have been reporting this have said that they feel it is going to pass without a shadow of a doubt. It will pass and go through. Now, with that said, let's talk about statewide here. Now, I did a video, of course, talking about Texas and Mississippi and all the states, that have decided to open, 100% or close to it, as well as, or basically let the counties do it, the regions and the states do it. So as far as, here in California goes, we're still doing the, facial mask mandate and everything, even though now it's being reported that a lot of other states are following suit of, hey, let's remove the mask mandate and all that because the vaccines are coming out more so than ever. Here in California, we're still kind of doing that. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I got to wrap this up real quickly. But like I said, as far as, statewide goes here, we're still doing the mandates with the face mask, as far as I know. But a few things have happened. One, the recall effort, or the recall petition, the official one, to remove Gavin Newsom as governor, has reached 1.9 million signatures, surpassing all expectations, thus guaranteeing that he's probably out of office before the end of the year, before the mid portion of the year. As well as the fact that they made the announcement that California will finally reopen amusement parks and let outdoor activities resume. But it's all going to be based on tier. That's right, it's all going to be based on tier. And what that means, if I can find it, I'll probably just put in a KCRA. There we go. Here we go. Right off the bat, here we go. Should be coming up here. Basically, theme parks and other outdoor events can resume in California under new CDPH guidelines. New CDPH guidelines pave the way for reopening. So this is what it says: Major League Baseball and other live outdoor entertainment could reopen under new guidelines. Purple tier limits 100 people or fewer attendance. Purple tier, capacity limited to 100 people or fewer. Attendance limited to regional visitors. Advance reservations required. No concession or concourse sales allowed. That's purple tier. And I think that's outdoor events. Red tier, capacity could go up to 20%. Concession stand sales primarily in seat, no concourse sales. Orange tier, limited to 33%. Yellow tier to 67%. Attendance will be limited to in-state visitors in red, orange, and yellow tiers. Amusement parks can reopen if the county they are located in is in the red tier. Capacity, red tier limited to 15%. Orange tier limited to 25%. Yellow tier to 35%. It says amusement parks must also have additional protections like no indoor dining, in the parks, limits on indoor rides, and only accept visitors from inside California. So yeah, basically they are allowing us around April 1st to resume in a semi-normal capacity with a certain percentage. And basically, you know, the higher, the tier is, I guess, in color, like if you go into, I guess the yellow tier is basically like the second to last one. Hello?
Yeah, we're outside. Come and help us here.
All right.
Right here.
Like I was saying, basically, um, the higher the tier, basically 67% being the highest right now, is when more people can be allowed into outdoor events, amusement parks, stuff like that. And yeah, this is a good sign. Although there are still some people that don't like the idea that this is happening just yet. I know people want to wait until it's 100%. I get that. But this, I think, in a way, is a good sign because at least, you know, the state government is saying, hey, let's try to get back to normal, try to give some people some normalcy, even though it's still moderated, and all that, limited and all that. Let's give them a little bit more activities to do since, the vaccines are rolling out. And of course, some people will point this out, and I do agree that this is, again, just as I mentioned before in a live stream about Newsom and Cuomo and some of the decisions they've been making recently with sudden reopenings and stuff like that. This is also another, even though it's a good thing, it's another, thing for Newsom to do to try to save his job, knowing that basically the signatures are about at 1.9 million, if not probably surpassed that now, as far as the recall goes. But yeah, it's a great thing for the state of California, and hopefully, by September, things will be, if not before September, things will be at 100%. But we'll see. But let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I am out.